Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fear and live an awesome life. It's almost December and we're just now having leaves turned here in Atlanta, Georgia. All right, you guys, go to my landriaonkka.com site if you want to check out my events. I'm going to start posting them on my .net site also. Just so you guys know, .net site is this channel's linked to, is my internet training. It's an education. You go to school and you learn how to create an online business. That's it. Don't make something up over that. It's not MLM and all that crap, all right? It's school. The other one, I'm going to teach you how to break through fear and live an awesome life. And those two go together, right? So I want to answer a question. Somebody wrote, how do you know the difference between a midlife crisis and awakening? Are they the same thing? No. No. So obviously this person must be experiencing midlife crisis, meaning breaking away. And I think that what she meant was like she's like getting rid of everything. Like she doesn't want to be in the same relationship or the same job, or she's like, she wants to go live her life. And we always called that a midlife crisis. Why do we have midlife crisis? Because we haven't been doing the things we love, and we get into positions where we're told we're supposed to stay there, and we evolve as people, but what we're doing for a living, who we're with, how we're functioning is not evolving with us. And that's why people get divorces. Somebody goes on, off and they become awake, and the other person, gains weight and watches more TV, and they have no frequency connection anymore. Okay, sit and talk to the person. If you're not going to work it out, bye. But society says you can't do that too. Oh, I'm so sorry you got a divorce. I'm like, I'm not. Bye. Right? So this is that midlife crisis, is we get stuck in this place and it's like, oh, this is it. And then it's always something, oh, I'll have the kids. And then that stops. The kids are gone. You're stuck in a job you don't love. You're going, where are all those things that I was going to do? And you didn't do them. It's time to start doing them. And that's not awakening, my friend. It is on some level. But awakening is when you really realize all those things really don't matter. Awakening is when you don't need all those things. You'll be fulfilled no matter what you do. And you may make some decisions and ditch the job, or ditch the relationship, or ditch the big expensive house that you don't need anymore. That's what happened to me. Meant nothing to me. It really didn't. Yeah, it's a nice perk. I love it. It's nice to have nice things. I always have nice things. I live an abundant, very luxurious life. But you disconnect to that world and you realize none of it counts. So if you're going into this space where you're realizing that, it isn't about, I think midlife crisis is more about what I didn't do with my life and what I want to do, and I feel restricted and I need to go do it. Versus awakening is, I don't need to do anything. I'm just going to live an abundant life. And you will make some of those decisions along the way for different reasons. All right? So people might be going, I need to travel and do all these things. And so they're stressed out about it. That's not awakening. You're not stressed out when you awaken. You're just going, you know what? I do want to travel. So I'm going to do this. And I'm going to sit my spouse down and say, honey, there's some things I'd like to do. I need to go see the world, and I feel really good about this. Would you like to join me? If not, I'm going to take 6 months off, and I'll call you. Maybe you'll meet me in Italy, maybe in Greece, France. I don't know. Come meet me. You sure you don't want to do this? And maybe it'll bring you together. And this person will go, are you leaving me? And you go, well, in a way, yeah. But I'm not divorcing you. I'm going to go travel and do the things I want to do. But you're coming from a very positive place. Not that the travel is going to make you happy. It's just that you don't need the things you're in now to make you happy, and you're trying to make it work and it's not working. Right? The job. Okay, maybe if I get the promotion and you're thinking, wait a minute, none of this is working for me. What do I really want to do? So if you're in an awakened, peaceful state, you may go into the thing you want to do. Maybe you want to be a blacksmith. We have blacksmiths here in Atlanta. It's pretty cool. Glass blowers. Look at some cool things going on here. And all over the world. Maybe you want to do that. It may sound crazy to somebody, but when you're awakened, you don't care about that. If you're not awakened and you're like struggling with it, then you may still need approval for other people or society, or you're petrified to make those changes. Who cares, right? Bye. If you want to be stuck in your unhappy job and all that stuff, but I'm going to go live my life. But again, coming from a place of peace and just saying, you know what? If you're a baby boomer like I am, you say, you know what? I need to live my life the way I want to. And it's time. And include those people that you can. Now, I have always lived a life that I love. Always. I have never, ever been in a spot where I thought, oh my God, you know, I hate my life. Because even when I was in my investment banking job and I didn't love it anymore, I was always conjuring up the next thing I was going to do, and I quit everything. I knew that was, I couldn't make that work. I was disconnected to that world. That financial world had changed drastically, and I was no longer connecting to it. And I loved it, and I didn't struggle with that. I just knew that the universe and I are one, and that I was ready and open, and I was going to accept what came, and sure enough, all kinds of things came. And now I'm here with you. This would have never happened if I had not made that move. Not because I needed it to be happy, but because I was flowing with that awakened state that I was, you know, connected to, that said, there are other paths for you to go, and you need to explore them. And there was no fear in that. There's some uncomfortableness that comes with it. It's like, you know, I've had the 3 a.m. sweats in the past before. But now I always know that there's always going to be some positive way, and that the more I open up to that and I'm at peace with it, the quicker it'll come. Because I'm not attached to that thing I think is going to make me happy. And that's when you struggle. It's like, I want this, and I have to have the money, and I have to have the house, and if I lose this or the relationship, and you're like fighting it, you're battling it. When you go into a peaceful state of awakening, you accept it. It does. Sometimes you'll feel some pain, but you will not feel struggle. You're not battling it. You're accepting it, and you're experiencing the sadness. You're experiencing loss sometimes. And so that's the difference. Midlife crisis can be an awakening, but most of the time people are just feeling like they didn't live their lives the way they want to, and that's changing right now. This new earth, hopefully these kids coming up will not live that life where they're told to go get stuck in a 9 to 5, and it's usually 9 to 9. That's killing them. They're going to start making choices in a world they love, and hopefully they're not going to go back into these schools that are teaching them crap that isn't real anymore. Even the science isn't true. Hopefully parents will start to take charge and say, we're going to switch into a world where, I know Elon Musk does this, there's a school where kids get to try different things all the time until they find what they love. And guess what? It doesn't mean you have to do it for the rest of your life. I've switched jobs and careers many times. I've been an interior designer. I was in real estate. I was a writer. It just goes on and on and on. Investment banker. I was an executive recruiter. It was just, I love trying different things, and I may continue to constantly switch gears, but now I am an internet marketing entrepreneur. I use that, and then I can have multiple things going on at the same time and explore all of my interests. And you can live that world. You can live a world where you're not in conflict or feeling like, I need to get out of this. Be at peace with it. And move forward, not because you feel like you've missed out on anything, because you are where you are. You're in the present moment. That's gone. If you haven't done something, what can you do now? And explore and expand and not worry anymore. That's the beauty of being a baby boomer. Most of us just don't give a crap anymore what anybody else thinks. We lived that world. And it's going away. So live the life you want. Live the life you love. And know whether it's a crisis, a life crisis, and it doesn't have to be a baby boomer. I know a lot of people, very young people, are going through this. Are you living the life you love? Are you rebelling because of the material world isn't suiting you well? Or are you just going to a different place where what you were living doesn't resonate with your frequency and you're at peace? You'll know if you're at peace or not with what you're experiencing, and you'll know if you have to go to something else like I did. I knew I had to make the move. All right, you are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Go live that life you love. Be at peace with it. Namaste.